All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the very quickly starting grand finals of Hippo Cup 5. It's the last match of the tournament. It's going to determine the winner. It's Discoboyz 3 and it's oomfie aim, and they're getting right into things with their bans. We're going to do a quick little recap here. We have Nod 5, the first ban from oomfie aim. We have DT1, the first ban from Discoboyz. We have Nomad 2, the second ban from oomfie aim. And Nomad 1, the second ban from Discoboyz. Okay. So now we got that figured out, we can talk a little bit about the match. Left-hand side, Discoboyz 3 coming from the winner's bracket. Everybody's favorite, I think, to win the tournament coming into it. Yokes by Chili Pair, Defines, Akoro, Malteser, Miles, Sigi, Toki, and Will Stetson along for the ride. On the other side, oomfie aim, another team that was picked, I think, to get to a late round. Maybe win, maybe get top 3, something like that. And they've achieved that goal. It's Emi, Nope, Kurumi, Crystal, David, Kirochi, Iger, Shinoriko, and Vivace. This is, I think, the match that everyone kind of expected to be seeing this weekend in the grand final, once we knew who the top 3 was going to be. But Pepsi Japan made things difficult for oomfie aim yesterday in the losers bracket final, taking them all the way to an 8-6 score. oomfie aim just a little better when it counted, had a few more maps that they were comfortable with, I think. You know, a team like oomfie aim, they are not as good on the speed picks, not as good on the left-hand sort of stuff, which is why they banned out Nomad 2, Nomad 5 today. And that was kind of the skill set that Pepsi Japan abused against them to get those points that they did. And I think Discoboyz are going to try to do the same thing here today. I think you're going to see them picking what is available of the kind of left-hand skill set. And I think, you know, you already saw oomfie aim banning out a couple of those picks. You know, Nomad 2, Nomad 5, that's like, hey, we don't want to play speed, we don't want to play stamina left hand. But that leaves a lot. You know, it leaves DT 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Discoboyz if they want to go that direction, because I think oomfie aim is pretty decent at, you know, the more gimmicky and niche style of maps in this pool. Discoboyz, you know, for their part, banning out Nomad 1, DT1. So that's kind of the aim stuff, the higher BPM aim picks in this pool. There's 252, 262 BPM aim picks. Discoboyz don't want to have to deal with that, which can feel a little bit more like a toss-up. And they opt straight into the DT5 first pick, so that's Pudding Funfair. Pepsi Japan picked that. It was their last pick yesterday against oomfie aim, and oomfie aim did not look very good on it. They got a score not even 5 million points. I think that probably gets improved on today, but even still, I think Discoboyz are just too scary on maps like this. You know, a roster of Kirochi, Nope, KJK, David, and Shinoriko at this time going to be replacing David. And Vivace, you know, it's not the scariest on a speed map, to be honest. And so I think that this is going to be a pretty good start, in all likelihood, for the team of Discoboyz 3. And so we are going to get right into it. Yokes by Malteser, Akoro, Toki looking to start things off the bang here with their first pick of the match against oomfie aim. And you can just see the comfort level of guys like Malteser and Toki on this compared to the comfort level of the players on oomfie aim's side. But they do find a couple breaks. Akoro still going, as he does. As the only FC left, and it's not even 200 combo in, and that score lead already starting to take off in favor of Discoboyz because they are just much more comfortable with this map. Yeah, this one's pretty much over. We're just watching Akoro. It's the Akoro show. But I think for this match, there were always going to be kind of throwaway picks for oomfie aim, much more so than for Discoboyz. You kind of just accept that you're going to lose on some of these left-hand maps that are very, very hard to compete against this team on, because it's just not your team's strong suit. You know, the problem being that Discoboyz are, as Nope and Kirochi find a couple breaks that really stamp out any chance of a comeback. The problem really is that Discoboyz are good at awkward stuff. They're good at, like, you know, the low AR. They're good at the tech. They're good at weird sorts of maps. And as we play the outro here, it's going to be an improved score by a little bit, I think, for oomfie, not by a lot. Yeah, alright, Ikoro, 4 mil, that's fine. Just put up a 4 mil on your own. It's Ikoro +1 versus 4. Anyway, so the problem here with this match, I think, for oomfie, and something that they're going to have to figure out, or if not, just get lucky on, is that Discoboyz are good at the maps that oomfie won against Pepsi Japan yesterday. You know, the things like the Hard Rock Tech, the alt maps, the rhythm control. Those are maps that Discoboyz can play. You know, historically, it's kind of been players who have been known for those types of maps. They just happen to add people to the roster this year who are also good at, you know, things like mechanics to a higher degree. You got Toki and Malteser on the team who have always been, you know, really good at speed stuff. But Ikoro is somebody, you know, who can play speed and also can play, you know, the reading maps and the rhythm maps and things like that. The guy's just very well-rounded, and there's, you know, multiple examples of players like that on the team. You know, oomfie being in for things like higher speed requirement maps is a bit of a twist to that roster. And so when you have players who are that well-rounded, it makes it trickier for the other team to try and come up with picks. And oomfie is just going to return to the tried and true from yesterday. They're going to go Ryusei Gun. This was their first pick yesterday as well. They got a score of just about 11.1 million on this yesterday. They won it. They had Crystal, Kirochi, Kurumi, and Nope, which looks like it's going to be the roster they're going to run for it again here today. And that was a map that they weren't really challenged on because they kind of just gapped Pepsi Japan on most of the tech-type maps in that pool. But I think things are going to be a little different today for that skill set, and I think it's going to be harder. I think they have to put up really, really solid scores, even on the maps that they won yesterday pretty comfortably, because Discoboyz as a team is just far, far stronger than were Pepsi Japan. Yeah, as we see, oomfie and Malteser staying in, but they'll be joined by Defons and Sigi, which is like people who are very good at comboing very difficult maps, as we've seen over the course of the tournament. I am admittedly a little surprised to still see Malteser in for this. I don't think of him as a tech player, but I guess here we are. So we're going to hope to see a very strong performance from all four members of oomfie on this pick. And I think we're going to learn, as we tend to, I think we're going to learn... Oh, goodness, my computer just lagged. I think we're going to learn a lot about the teams pretty quickly as far as how their skill sets compare to each other in this map on this pool, or match on this pool, excuse me. Just based on, you know, what we saw in their winners bracket final matchup against each other, Discoboyz seems to kind of outclass oomfie. But with this being, you know, a pool later, you know, maybe something opens up a little bit in terms of just the raw difficulty requirement of the map pool. Hard to say. But I think somebody like oomfie is just such a great addition to have to your team on a map like this. Same thing for Defons and Sigi. But it's something that Crystal is good at. It's something that Kirochi is good at. You know, Nope and Dave and Kurumi will probably do well as also. So I expect a lot of these picks are going to be very close, especially on ones like this where it's just so hard to combo any of the more difficult sections. That being said, Kirochi is up to a 300 combo with nobody else over 100, so that's going to give a little bit of an early lead to oomfie. Those kick sliders are devilish, as it turns out. Oh, that's going to be the slider rake for Kirochi. But they did take an 800k lead. However, see, this is what we're talking about oomfie. We talked at length about this in that winner's final. oomfie seemed to be the guy in that match who always had a combo somewhere. even when nobody else in the lobby did. And he's kind of doing that here. Fortunately for oomfie, nobody else on Discoboyz has any sort of combo, but he managed to keep this map fairly close despite the combo discrepancy of the other players. And now it's just Nope KJK on a 275 combo. And it'll lead out to 1,000,000 points as everyone breaks its full combo reset. Third of the way through. 200 combo on David, or excuse me, on crewmate. I keep wanting to say David, I don't know why. And, you know, this map is very much like many other maps in this pool about just getting combo where you can. Because there's so many places in the map you're really not going to get much combo at all. That was very well done by oomfie and Kirochi and Crystal, holding 150 to 200 combo through a very difficult section of space stream into this wacky slider portion of the map. Nope KJK holding off Yolkspy as the only two combos out there. And there goes Yokes as Nope holds on, as does Crystal with 130 back in combo. It does look like oomfie are in a pretty solid position on this pick. Crystal at 200 combo, nobody really in a comparable sort of position. There's still a third of the map to go, but the way the combo has been going so far, Discoboyz just have not really been able to make any inroads, especially with multiple breaks in kind of the quieter sections like this. You know, if there's anything that oomfie might really look to work in skill set wise, it is probably these like hard rock tech picks that there are a couple of in this pool. If they're just feeling the slightest bit consistent on them compared to their opponents, that'll be some place that they can really pick up advantages over the course of the match. The question is, though, you know, what can they make with those points? Because that's such a small portion of the overall pool. Oh, Kirochi almost made it through that entire stream. And it's, again, a full reset, so I'm just going to ride this one out through the ending. So you pick a map like this and you win it pretty comfortably if you're oomfie, backed by some very solid scores from Crystal, Kirochi. You know, where do you go from here? Because you probably want to try to find other maps that will afford you the opportunity to put up a performance like this one. You know, dude, that was quite a solid score. 12.8. They did improve, as it turned out. They didn't have to. You know, but so where do they go after that, right? Hard Rock 4 is another option for them if they wanted to do that. You know, Nomad 4 is on the board, obviously, if you want to just go tech, as is Free Mod 1. Kind of some options for other tech stuff if that's the skill set they think they're going to find results from. They liked the alt picks yesterday as well. You know, Nomad 3, Nomad 9, a couple of maps that they were cool with. Nomad 9 was actually their second pick yesterday. I don't know that you go that pick this early against Discoboyz today, but it is there. What's interesting to me is that yesterday they banned two DTs. They banned DT2, DT4, and they swapped that out for two Nomad bans. They banned Nomad 2 and Nomad 5 instead. So it's almost saying, we dare you to pick just straight through the DT pool to Discoboyz. You know, the expectation, if you're oomfie, is that they're probably going to pick into some of those maps since they're now available and they weren't yesterday. And their obvious weakness was on speed. So the question for Discoboyz then will be, you know, do they choose to kind of go after that skill set, or do they stick with, you know, maybe something else that they might have had in mind previously? And as we wait for the next pick, that will kind of determine sort of the direction the match goes. You know, if Discoboyz just go straight into more DT picks, you know, maybe we'll say they just go 4-5. They could pick 5 DTs with out of their 7 available picks in this match, you know, if it goes all the way. And there is going to be another DT. It's going to be Mr. Kill Myself of DT3. So they are maybe opting into that sort of trend. Hey, they already gave the pick. Chill. This was a Pepsi Japan 3rd pick yesterday. It was Emi, Kurumi, Kirochi, and Vivace for oomfie aim, and they put up 30 million, which is honestly not a terrible score. They didn't lose this by that much, but it was still a pick that it felt like Pepsi Japan always kind of had in hand, and Discoboyz will likely feel similarly. This is one of the hardest maps in the pool overall. It's 8-star, 255 BPM CS5, just endless finger controlled, like, you know, D&B style. As we take a look back, gotta scroll up a ways to come across this. Their best score was on Emi. It was a 14 million score by him, but nobody else over 6 million points, whereas the team of Pepsi Japan had 3 players over 7 million, one of which was Invoker at 16 million. So it was only a 4 million score difference between the teams, but we'll have to see if Emi can put up a score like he did yesterday on it. Almost a 900 combo before breaking on quite literally nothing. As we recall, he missed on air. Gonna try to avoid that here today. I guess we're gonna try to avoid playing the map today. Come on, Emi, you can do it. Oh my goodness. The world if the Osu tournament client functioned. Okay, here we go. Yoxpai Malteser, Akoro, Toki, the squad for Discoboyz. Vivace, Kurumi, Kirochi, and Emi, the roster for oomfie aim. Oomfington Aimington. Are we no skip Sundaying, or is the client just lagging? I can't tell. I guess we're no skip Sunday. And in we go. And this is just like a Malteser Toki map, but I think it's going to be, you know, Yoxpai Akoro doing that combo game thing that Yoxpai does so well. Akoro can play this, I think, much more confidently than Yoxpai in terms of accuracy, but he is the first to break, so that's starting off great. And this is probably a map that oomfie aim said, let's practice this going into the next match, because if we leave it up, they'll pick it, and we put up a solid score yesterday. I think their score was, like, not bad by any means. I mean, like I said, it was a reasonably close affair. There go Kevin, Kurumi, and Kirochi, though, as if to say, we heard you say that, and we're going to take offense to it. Now it's Yoxpai Malteser Toki with all combos, and there goes Emi as well. And it's just down to Yoxpai and Malteser. Well, Malteser, who can actually kind of play this properly, 96 AC, and Yoxpai, who can play it to keep combo. And this might get out of hand quickly, but there's the break from Yoxpai, so there might not be any combo on oomfie aim, but there's also no combo on anybody but Malteser. The problem is Malteser is the best, I think. Malteser and Toki are the 2 best players on this kind of map in this lobby, and in tournaments, Malteser definitely gets the nod there. And he is showing off that skill right now. This dude has just always been scary on tapping maps in general in tournament play. And he's got 1,000 combo. He's gonna put up a better score already, it looks like. There it goes. He's already put up a better score than Invoker, who top scored this yesterday. And it's a 20 million point lead for Discoboyz, as Malteser is just not breaking. He's in it for the PP, man. Malteser's gonna send 800 in the match. Let's go. And no combo to be spoken of really on anyone else. There goes Malteser at long last. Finally breaks at 23 million points. And Okoro follows up. But look around. There's no combo anywhere. Why is Yolkspie so good? Why are you talking about Yolkspie being so good when Malteser has 23 mil? Or is it just that you're not surprised by Malteser having 23 mil and Yolkspie is surprising to see at 9.4? Maybe that's the case? I mean, it's true. Yolkspie, noted left-hand player Yolkspie has a better score than anyone on oomfie, but like, I mean, it's Yolkspie. I don't think anything this guy does should surprise you at this point. He's been playing like this, getting combos on stuff he shouldn't for like 5 years now. You know, Malteser doesn't surprise you doing well in this because he's a left-hand player. Yolkspie doesn't surprise you doing well in this because he's Yolkspie. We are not the same. This is just gonna be, this is a scary situation here. This is just a big gap. oomfie is actually gonna improve their score from yesterday too, which is the crazy part. I forgot how hard this last quarter of the map is. Goodness sakes. The question is, who will get the higher score between Yolkspie and Toki, because they are almost identical right now. And if Yolkspie outscores Toki on a like certified speed player map, I don't really know. Oh my god, he's actually gonna do it too, because there's just nothing at the end here, and he has a slightly more combo. Oof. Okay then. Emi does end up managing to put up a score that is better than Yolkspie or Toki. Didn't end up scoring as well as yesterday, but not a bad result. But the Malteser gap here is just unfair. And yeah, oomfie improves their score by 2 million, and instead of losing by 4 million, they lose by 26 million because Osu is a fair game. And Yolkspie outscores Okoro and Toki on a speed map with the C rank. Malteser A rank 12 miss 95 act, by the way. Yeah. D rankers, when given the opportunity to D rank SMH. I'm trolling, of course. That is a pretty insane score. He's actually 687. I don't know. Is it still a D ranker? I don't know. Alright. Well. oomfie aim, as I kind of suggested might be the case, going with another hard rock. Maybe they clearly feel that like this is something that they can do. Hard Rock 4 S2 TV recordings, Superliminal. It's a Lucent CS6.5 map. Relatively short, 2.5 minutes long, 180 BPM, but the spaced bursts and spaced streams come early and they come often. And another map where combo is going to be at a premium because that spacing is just not easy. This was their third pick yesterday, so they're not going to opt into their previous second pick of Nomad 9. They're going to skip that one and go into their third pick, which was Kurumi Crystal and Kirochi, so got the lobby all set already. They put up a 14 million score on this. Very respectable, I would say. This is actually the same two maps back to back as yesterday, by the way. It was third pick Mr. Kill Myself from Pepsi Japan, and then third pick Superliminal from oomfie. So next up is going to be oh well, it can't be the next pick because the next pick after that was Nomad 1 yesterday. But this was one where all the players performed pretty well. Vivace put up a 4.4, Kirochi 3.8, Crystal 3.2, and Kurumi 2.8 mil. So this was one that, you know, nobody really stood out exceedingly. It was just one that their team performed better than the opposition on. Nobody got over 3 million. it was almost a full team gap by like 100,000 points. Always the difference there over Peps Japan. But again, you know, expecting Discoboyz to be moderately competent with this, although Malteser just misaimed and then misaimed again. This is interesting. You're seeing like the speed roster in for something that I would not really think of as a speed map. Malteser and Toki in on a 180 BPM spaced stream and spaced burst pick is kind of weird to me. But I guess I don't know who else would be in instead. It's just, this doesn't seem like their skill set. And maybe it's just, Hard Rock's not their team skill set in general, so they're kind of throwing these picks away in the way that oomfie kind of throws away the left-hand maps. I'm not sure. But as you can see, these bursts are very spaced, and no one can hit many of them, and so nobody has much combo. But the lead's slowly growing in favor of oomfie on the back of Kurumi at just under 200, making it through some more spaced patterns than anyone else does before falling. Kurochi, now at 200, takes over in his stead. And another one where oomfie just looks a bit stronger. That being said, there is similar combo. Malteser is ahead of Crystal, Yokespy is slightly behind Kurumi. So if the oomfie players break, Discoboyz can have a chance at a comeback here, but they're in some free combo. So it's gonna build things up for both sides. There goes Crystal, but Malteser breaks right at the same time. That's a bit unfortunate. There goes Toki as well. No matching break on oomfie. Malteser, Koro, Kurochi, Vivace all breaking, as does Yokespy. And Kurumi now at 4.5 million score, 500 combo, is going to ride this one out through the last quarter. Discoboyz losing pretty decisively on a couple Hard Rock picks early on here, with rosters that I'm kind of confused by them having in for these maps. Because this is like, this almost feels like an aim map, more so than a stream map, because the spacing is so high and it's only 180 BPM. And so that's 2 Hard Rock picks in a row for oomfie to start things off, and they win both of them, so they've already exceeded their map. Oh no, they haven't. They got 3 points last time, excuse me. I thought it was 8-1 for some reason. I was misremembering, I apologize. So already coming close to their map total from the winners bracket final. I guess I should put it that way. And that's Kurumi putting up a score, man. 5.3 million. Best we've seen on the map thus far. 27 misses is actually pretty solid. He's been a player who really comes through in the clutch in these late round scenarios for his teams. Did it yesterday several times. Did it, of course, in 4WC Grand Finals. Guy just figures out ways to combo maps, puts up solid performances. Another pick goes over to, of course, Discoboyz 3. And they've got DT4. They've got DT2. They got DT6. But the speed players have all left the lobby, so curious if that means it's going to be something outside of the left-hand oriented skill set maps in this pool. Coming up next for them. I'm curious how these teams feel about some of the other types of maps in comparison with one another. Kind of the alt picks and the aim picks. You know, I think they're probably slightly advantaged to Discoboyz for things like Nomad 4, Free Mod 1. And I don't know, oomfie is really good at alt, so like Nomad 3, Nomad 9, kind of up in the air. But it is just going to be free. It is just going to be another DT, so Discoboyz kind of just keeping to that pool. That's 3 picks in a row that they've gone DT. oomfie, of course, starting 2 Hard Rock, so they're clearly kind of crystallized in their strategy. Chosai Kenbo Sengen is the highest BPM DT pick at 300 beats per minute. Air 10.3, like several of the others in this pool. A little bit shorter, just a minute 47. You know, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from DT3, which was almost 5 minutes long. And this one brings Miles in. And so this was one of the 2 bans from oomfie yesterday, both of which they left up today. And so Discoboyz now looking to maybe take advantage of the fact that oomfie left up maps that they did not want to leave up against Pepsi Japan. And it is going to be Yoxback or Toki Malteser. So Miles not actually playing this. I don't know why he was in the lobby in the first place. People fooling me. Not that I really expected Miles to play this type of map, but I guess you just never know. Uache, Kurumi, Kirochi, Emi in for this one for oomfie. This is speedy. This is so fast. But it's a lot of aim in addition to the tapping requirement. And things going well here for Kirochi at the start. Not so much for the team, though. Malteser and Ikoro are doing Malteser and Ikoro things. Kirochi, though, doing Kirochi things. This is the secret weapon for oomfie on speed? Nope, there goes the speed, there goes the tapping. Malteser, meanwhile, hits those triples at, you know, SS's and keeps his 99 act for a little bit longer. Did you know that Malteser has aim? Because this is me learning that for the first time. And there's really not much combo on oomfie, so that lead is going to shift very heavily over to Discoboyz. Malteser finally does break, but you see no combo over 20 there for oomfie for a bit. Meanwhile, Ikoro at 175, and Toki was at around 100 or so. And yeah, the lead 2 million points halfway through a minute and 47-second long map. Kind of gives you an idea of what's happening. And Ikoro now taking over, settling into the driver's seat. Does miss, but again, not much combo on oomfie. The lead is pretty safe at this point. Malteser's a decent combo, so is Toki, and the only one left is Kurumi for oomfie. This map is just so difficult. I mean, you have to be able to play this BPM because there's so much tapping requirement, you know, the triples and quints, and about the only people that could do that were on the Discoboyz side, and they double their opponent's score. It is not going to be the entire team gap, thanks to Yoxback falling a little bit behind, but it's a 3-player gap at the very least. And Discoboyz now 3 for 3 on their DT picks to start off the match. You can definitely tell what skill set they feel good about in this one. Does not look like a super old map because it is by Galvanize, whose style is timeless. Malteser, 3.4 million. I don't know. Nerf? Malteser. If he'd held a little bit longer, he could have 1v5'd, but, or 1v4'd, I mean, excuse me. But not to be. Alright, and now we're seeing something new. This was a free mod 3 pick. It's Ignite, map by Spartan. And oomfie moving out of the Hard Rock pool into our first free mod pick of the match. This was banned against them by Pepsi Japan yesterday. Pepsi Japan did ban double alt with Hard Rock 2 free mod 3. And so we're really switching things up. It's not Hard Rock, it's not DT. Instead, it is really fun, aim, lengthy free mod. And again, I mentioned this at the start of the match, but oomfie has, over the course of this tournament, looked very, very good on alt maps. They have several players who are good at these. So, When you get in guys like Eiger, you get in guys like Crystal, give yourself a chance on these maps. We will get into this. It looks like we should be set. Yokespie, Defon, Sigi, Chili Repair, Nope, Kurumi, Eiger, and Crystal. Which is most of their alt roster for alt maps yesterday. I think they had David in for some of them. Is he even here today? Or is it, have they just not played any maps that he would be in for? I can't decide which is the case. But away we go. And now that we switch up to a new skill set, well, we'll see which of these teams is alt supremacy. With a little bit of tapping requirement thrown in for good measure, just for fun. Again, it's just such a long map. I mean, it's 4 minutes, so it's a lot of consistency. But you gotta be able to play these wonky-ass alt patterns, which Spartan is kind of well known for, I think. This song is so quiet, by the way. Also, this is gonna get the VOD muted, I just realized, because everything that, I think at least, everything that's from this artist gets VOD muted, so that's cool. And it is already just one FC left for Discoboyz on Yokespie. Now it gets just one from oomfie on Crystal, but he's a very reliable player, so not the worst player to have your last FC remaining on. And Discoboyz having trouble building up much combo to support Yokespie. He has a 1.4 million point lead for oomfie. And Crystal is just chilling. Man. Alright, Crystal, Yokespie, you guys just keep going. He finally breaks. Okay, Crystal breaks. That gives the opportunity over to Discoboyz here as we reach about the 1/3 mark. There's not a lot of supporting combo, and Yokespie is Yokespieing it. Oh! I spoke too soon. Yokespie is no longer Yokespieing it. Very unfortunate. Dude, what if they mapped those repeat sliders as streams instead? How brutal would this be? You have to couple them as bursts, I guess, but like, just the entire thing is just 290 BPM streams. Like, every time there's a repeat slider in this map, it could just be a stream or a burst. Alright, now we've got Nope KJK breaking, so it's Eiger against the world. No backing combo. Fortunately, though, oomfie has the lead, and a decent amount of combo on Discoboyz, but not enough to make this lead come back anytime soon. See how long Eiger can hold versus Defons and Yokespie, who are such premier alt players. There's a decent amount of combo being built up on pretty much everyone in oomfie now. Oh, no, there's not! It's a 4-way reset! Wait a minute, the door just got opened wide for Discoboyz to make a comeback in this one. That was something that oomfie absolutely could not afford to have happen, because Yokespie is on a 650 combo and Sigi is at a 400 combo. And the lead goes over. That was tragic for oomfie. You just cannot have a 4-way reset against a team that has as much combo as Discoboyz did. Yokespie does finally break, but Sigi holds through, and into the last Kiai we go. Sigi holding on, or last quarter of the map we go, I suppose. Sigi holding on to a 500+ combo. The best is Crystal at not even 300, and he falls. And Discoboyz now racing away with this one into a 2 million point lead. Sigi does finally break, so there's really not much combo anywhere anymore. But this is going to get close in the ending. Eiger had some combo there, does break. Kurumi's at 200, Yokespie's ahead of him. If Yolkspie breaks and oomfie can find a bit of combo in this last few seconds of the map, this could get very interesting at the end. It's only a 1.6 million point lead in favor of Discoboyz, and they are not having much luck building up combo on any of their players. Yolkspie needs to hold on the entire rest of the way if they want to hope, and he does not. Oh, this might just go over at Kurumi's combo of 400. Crystal and Elo and Iger are backing him up. There is enough time. There is enough combo. There it goes on over. oomfie are going to steal this one back at the last second. It looks like Crystal breaks, though. It's 600,000 points, but there's literally no combo on Discoboyz. This could be a last second just steal away for oomfie of their own pick. And there it is. It ends up being an 834,000 point win for oomfie that looked for all the world like Discoboyz were finally going to get that break point, but they just couldn't hold any combo through the ending in much the same way that oomfie couldn't hold any combo through that like middle third. And oomfie sneak it back over. Crystal, Iger, and Kurumi all putting up really solid performances. Nope as well. I mean, and unfortunately, you hate to look at it this way, but that difference was really all down to Chili Repair. I mean, I don't think I mentioned his name once the entire time. That kind of says it all. He was at 2 million points, with the next lowest score in the lobby being 5.4 million. Now, despite the 12 million nearly from Yolkspie, just not able to carry that team over the finish line on the pick. And we stay dead even at 3 points apiece. Now we are going to go into the Nomad pool for the first time today. It's time for Will Stetson. Will Will Stetson play the Will Stetson song? I think the answer is probably not. I'm going to hazard a guess at no. This is another kind of left-handed map, but it's a little bit different. It's Devious Panda, so you know what's coming. It's just gonna be rhythm changes left, right, and center. This was the spot, by the way, at which the lone breakpoint of yesterday's match occurred. The fourth pick from the team picking first. Halfway through the match, Pepsi Japan fourth pick was Nomad 1, and that was the only breakpoint in the entire match yesterday. And here, Discoboyz' pick number 4 is going to be Nomad 6, which is a map that oomfie won yesterday. It was the map that they closed out the match on with a 16.3 million score. So we try to get everybody loaded in. So the question is, how confident are Discoboyz in their ability to win on a map that their opponent closed out yesterday's match on? And can oomfie improve their score if needed in order to win it again? Yeah, that was a team effort of a win for them yesterday. Yeah, it's a team that often doesn't have one major carry, and if they are, it's only by a small margin. It's not like Yolkspie having the best score in his team by, 5 million on the previous pick. They're a team that, maybe somebody will have a better score by like 1 million, but otherwise it's often coming down to these team-wide performances for oomfie. We'll see if they can rely on that again here as we go into an incredibly rhythmically challenging map. The Discoboyz finally opting out of the DT pool despite there being a couple of DTs left available for them. And we'll see how it fares, as they do still have 4 full combos against only 1, and we're only at 500 combo, which seems like a lot, but it's not even really out of the intro. This map is very slow to get, or song, I suppose, really, is very slow to get started, and as such, the map goes along with it. And you're gonna see some resets. That's a lot of breaks. That's 6 players missing, and it comes down to just Akoro and Nope. And, you know, Devious Panda Nomad 6 is kind of where Akoro's bread is buttered. This is how he made his name. This is why so many people, even outside the tournament community, are familiar with Akoro as a player, is because of these ludicrous rhythm maps that just seem so tailor-made for his skill set. And so he, with the only combo left, is going to be flying this flag forward for Discoboyz. As the breaks come frequently for pretty much everybody else. Some combo beginning to get built up slowly here and there, looking around the lobby. But the breaks come too. Kirochi, David, and Yokespy. And Akoro and Sigi. Kind of the guys you would expect, I think, to be doing well on picks like this. Had the combos together, now it goes to just Akoro again, but he is outperforming the entirety of oomfie aim at this juncture. 96 act up there. He and Sigi topping the lobby. Kurumi and Kirochi not far behind. But it's a 6 million point lead for Discoboyz with a third of the map to go. And as long as Akoro holds on for just a bit longer, should be pretty comfy. This is a section of the map where nobody's gonna miss, so we'll be able to build up at least a little bit of combo before getting back into it. Okay, we have an Akoro Sigi double break. It's a 6 million point gap. I don't know if there's enough score for Kurumi and Kirochi, especially Kirochi breaking, so it's just Kurumi once again. Maybe not always a one-man carry team, but certainly Kurumi doing his best to put that team on his back when he can, and he is at a 650 combo, but he does break, and the 5 million gap might have been too big anyway, unless he had held all the way through. That's a lot of map to try to make it through if you want to solo carry your team from a 6 million point deficit. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. He will put up a good score nonetheless, but it looks like this one should be going over to Discoboyz. And now we come into the crescendo. Some very difficult section of the map here at the end. Not going to be a lot of combo on the board, except, of course, Yokespy was at a 400 as I said that, because, you know, it's Yokespy. That's what he does. And Discoboyz are, again, looking to take a pretty comfortable win on their own pick. This one, much more comfortable for them than the last pick was for oomfie aim. Discoboyz really have not been challenged yet on their own picks. It's, I think, a testament to both their ability as players and their ability to strategize for a match, to just get really good picks in that they were able to perform well on. And it's a 6 million point win here on Nomad 6, and it takes them to a 4-3 lead. Kurumi, 7.4 million. Very impressive stuff for him on the side of oomfie aim, but nobody else over 4 million on that team. Meanwhile, Akoro outscoring him by 1 million points with a 6 miss, and Yokespy, Sigi, Toki all putting up decent scores for the team. Again, I mean, not a bad score for oomfie aim. They improved their score from yesterday by 1 million points, and instead of winning it by 4 million, they lost by 6.4 million. Just, you know, the difference between the top 2 teams and everyone else in this tournament. It's kind of unfortunate not to be able to see, like, El Dupa on this pool at all. But Pepsi Japan certainly put up a good showing yesterday, so I don't think we lost too much by not having them there, in the sense of in the sense of like competitiveness. It was definitely a closely fought match regardless. But now oomfie aim picking from 3-4 down. Yesterday they were picking from 4-3 up, and they went with Nomad 3. Are they going to go that same direction after being challenged so closely on the preceding alt pick of theirs? You know, they went with Fremod 3 and barely eked out a win. do they chance Nomad 3, which is, you know, it's Coco Soko, but like on crack. It's even mapped by the same mapper, but it's not to be. They're gonna stay in the free mod pool. So they're gonna go back-to-back free hard rocks, and they're gonna go back-to-back free mods. Their 4th pick is gonna be Honks. This was their 5th pick yesterday, so they're kind of accelerating this by 1 slot. They won it yesterday with a score of 7.2 million points, and that was done by Crystal, Kurumi, Nope, KJK, and David. And it looks like that's gonna be the same roster here again today. This is gonna be our 2nd tech pick of this match. Of course, the 1st pick earlier on oomfie going with Ryu Seigun, the Hard Rock 3 pick, and they won that one. It was relatively close, but you know, they were never in doubt on that, so they're saying we're comfortable with tech. We can stay in this skill set if we want to, and we'll be okay with it. Again though, Discoboyz very, very good at tech maps, and with this one being free mod instead of hard rock, that means they'll probably run a double hidden instead of having to worry about who, you know, people coming in that can play hard rock and tech. Interestingly though, it's still Malteser in the lobby, which kind of surprises me a little bit, as he is now going to be in for 2 tech maps. I guess I don't know who you would, I mean, maybe a Koro would have been my expectation, or Sigi would have been my expectation. I don't know, it's a little weird to me. You know, as somebody who's used to Malteser's role typically being very clearly delineated in his teams, where he's pretty much always just that left-hand, you know, speed player. It's interesting to me seeing him in for basically everything. But we'll see how he performs on this tech pick. And we get Yokespy Defons on hidden, Akoro, Malteser, Nomad. Nope, KJK, and David are the hidden players for oomfie. This one is just dumb. This map is so hard. And the song is, not good. Oh, okay, Defons starting things off with a bang. I feel like this is kind of a Yokespy Akoro like cheese combo map. It's just the kind of impression I would get from this type of song. All right, it is Yokespy versus Kurumi. Who will be the first to break of those two who are fighting a battle for the lead in the map? 500k lead to Discoboyz, that's not very much. That can go away in a hurry. Yokespy and Kurumi keeping it going. Neither of them is broken still. 500 combo apiece. Yokespy maybe with a few more slider ends, who's a little bit ahead. His accuracy 4% better. But I mean, it's really all about that combo on V1, and my goodness, they both held all the way through the first section of the map. And that's a 400k lead is all for Discoboyz. But there's not a lot of combo on anyone else, so it's just those two. That's all we're watching is Yokespy versus Kurumi. Kurumi, who has just been on one recently, it feels like. The guy has been playing so well in every match he plays. Kurumi is the Scotty Scheffler of Osu tournaments right now. Oh, Yokespy breaks on nothing, and Kurumi held. He's got a 700 combo that is completely unopposed. Wow. Okay. Lead over to oomfie aim, and by no small margin, it's instantly going to be 1,000,000 points and then some, because Kurumi is just not breaking. Finally, he misses on the little stream. He missed on the wiggle. Oh man, all right, well, it's 1.3 million point lead for oomfie aim though, so they're not gonna feel too bad about that because that's the biggest lead anyone's had over this entire map. And there's just, I don't think the combo on Discoboyz to compete. Ikoro would have to have like held through where he just missed and get through farther too. It's 1.2 mil. I don't know if there's enough comboable material left in this pick, but if anybody's gonna find some combo in a map that nobody else can, it's usually Yokespy. Unfortunately, not meant to be on this one. As we get into this extremely difficult ending. Boy, Defon's having a hell of a time here, not even up to 1,000,000 points. And this will be a 4th point, looks like, for oomfie aim by about 1 million. Unless Okoro can just magically pull a 1 million score gap out of his pocket, which is not meant to be, as he finds his last break. And on the back of Kurumi, putting up a 4.8 mil score, best in the lobby by 500k, and with no small amount of thanks, unfortunately, to the lackluster performance of Defans, not even able to get 1 million points on that entire map. oomfie put another point up, and it is 4-4, still tied 8 maps in. And back into the DT pool we go. For the 5th pick from Discoboyz. This is their 4th DC pick of the match. Will it work as well as the preceding 3? My hedged bets are on yes. So we go 232 BPM, CS5 DT. Also, anybody else notice that like 3 of the 6 DTs, actually 4 of the 6 DTs are small circles, 3 of them are CS5, and then another one's 4.6. Like, there's, I don't know why, they're just all small circles. Yeah, so minute 10 seconds. Very short. This is not a long map. And it's again gonna be the left-hand squads coming in. Tokyo Koro Malteser and a 4th. Against Vivace, Kurumi, Emi, and Noriko. Is it actually Miles? Wait, it's actually Miles. What? Oh, okay. Miles coming in for his first map, probably on hidden. Wait, he's hidden only. What? Oh no, he's ET only, excuse me. Wait, he doesn't have no fail on. Can we get an abort? Or does he actually have no fail on? I can't tell. Okay, he actually has no fail on. Thank you, tournament client. It literally didn't show that he had hidden or no fail. It only showed the DT, even though he had HD DT no fail. Tournament client, give it up. Round of applause for tournament client. That's a poggers. And in we go. It's breaks everywhere, and it's the lead to oomfie, and Kevin is going against Okoro. Oh, but he breaks. Okoro holds on. The lead goes back over to Discoboyz just like that. There's Okoro again, though. This one's going to stay pretty close. No combo really on anyone. A lot of players having trouble with the aim on those kick sliders, and it's a 400,000 point lead is all for Discoboyz. Any little bit of combo can really play a big difference-making role in this pick. It is so short, and combo is at such a premium. Narco Kevin against Toki Malteser Okoro. Emi and Miles distantly in the back. And there goes everyone on oomfie. Discoboyz holds on, and they're going to take the point now. That was just it. Malteser and Okoro holding for dear life. And there it is. What was a very close map at one point ends with a 2.4 million point lead in favor of Discoboyz. Miles comes in for his one map. He is completely irrelevant, and his team wins it anyway. Good job, Miles. I guess that's one way to exist in a map. I mean, to be honest, like, Emi didn't do all that much better So I can't even say anything too bad about Miles. I mean, he got 558k, Emmy got 777k, and Kurumi also got under 1 million points. That map's just ridiculous. So I mean, it kind of is what it is. The fact that Ikoro and Malteser got 97.48 and 98 AC to about like is just kind of nuts. They both got 300 plus combo. And we are going to see the No Mod 9. It is going to happen at long last. As the 5th pick here for oomfie aim. They picked this very early yesterday. It was their 2nd map to be picked against PUBG Japan. And here it's going to be their 5th pick. They won it there. 10 million score. Crystal, Iger, Nope, David was their roster. See if Kirochi stays or goes. This is a ludicrously hard precision aim pick. Over 4 minutes long, CS7, quote unquote 140 BPM. By that I mean 280 BPM. Or 210 BPM? I don't know. Anyway. This, I think, feels a little scarier today than it did yesterday, but the way that oomfie aim has been playing on their own picks makes it not too bad. Yesterday, you know, they won it by 2.8 million. They had Crystal put up 4 mil, so he's, I think, got to be their anchor for this and maps like it. Although he and Sigi need to switch slots. Crystal is not on Discoboyz. Imagine if Crystal was on Discoboyz in place of Will Stutson. How fucked would that team be? Okay, and we're gonna go with Yokespie, Toki, Chilier, Sigi against Nope, Crystal, Kirochi, David. Toki aim? Toki aim? Toki precision? Let's go? Let's go, man. Pog, let's go, man. Any cage roll watchers in the chat? I knew it was gonna be Foff responding to that. I knew it. But yeah, this map is difficult. It is not easy. It is very hard. This match is starting to feel more and more like whoever gets the first break point is just gonna win because both teams are really good at their own picks. And like, arguably not as good at their opponent's picks. And once again, it's Crystal. Also, like, I feel like Discoboyz don't have a good roster for this type of map. I don't know. I mean, they don't have Defonzin, who's like normally an ult player, because maybe he doesn't think he has the aim for it or something. Or the precision, maybe? I mean, you can't expect anybody to combo anything in this section of the map, so this is kind of irrelevant. You can really take this out of the equation. But I almost feel like this is just a map that they didn't have a great squad for. And it's a 1.6 million lead for oomfie aim, who are making this match much more interesting than the winner's final already, with one more point won, but they've also just had, like, you know, kind of a better feel about things, I guess. It's hard to describe exactly, with it only being one map farther than they got previously. It feels like they've been like genuinely winning their picks, other than maybe Fremod 2. And again, you kind of look around, you see Crystal and Nope with equal combos, and Discoboyz have slightly behind combo on Sigi and Yokespie, but Nope does break. It's a full reset for oomfie aim except for Crystal. But again, Crystal just coming in clutch on this map, much like he did yesterday. And it's a moderately comfortable lead here for oomfie. All right, we're gonna get into this section here that should be hittable for just about everyone. It's kind of cut quads. And oomfie got a nice amount of score out of this yesterday, and they're gonna look to do the same thing here again, as Crystal, Nope, and David are all holding through it. So are Toki and Yolks Pie. Chili are a little behind. It's a 1.8 million score lead with a quarter of the map left to go. I think that's probably pretty safe, all things considered, on a map like this. I don't really know if there's a way for Discoboyz to make a run at this gap, especially with 3 combos to 2. Okay, there go everyone on oomfie, and there goes everyone on Discoboyz. Well, okay, that's that. That's gonna be oomfie. Take another point. And 5-5, we're getting deep into this one, and it is still staying very close. We've played 10 maps, and we have no break points, which is pretty remarkable. Imagine this just goes straight to tiebreaker with no break points. Just 14 straight points that the team picking wins. There is still DT6 up on the board if Discoboyz want to go back into DT pool. Otherwise, not sure where they would possibly be going after that. We've got Nomad 7 if they want to go low AR. Something that really hasn't, isn't explored in this pool all that much. It's literally the only low AR pick in the pool. Toki coming back into the lobby. Maybe they are just going more left-hand stuff. I'm not sure. Oh, Fremont 2. Hora de verdad. That was the second to last pick for Discoboyz. Another short one. Minute 45. Snow Note. Wankery. Song is a banger. It's one that we did not see yesterday. This was completely untouched. And that pick, not banned. They're getting more maps on the board. for our map statistics. Load in, please. Thank you. There we are. Seox by Tokia, Koro, Malteser, No KJK, Kurumi, Eiger, and Kirochi. Get your tapping hands ready. Get your aim hands ready. Just get everything ready that you can get ready for an Osu map, because you're going to need it all. Stuff starts to feel a little more risky the deeper you go into these matches. As we get early breaks from Nope, Kurumi, and Eiger, it's just Kirochi left with the combo against triple combo from Discoboyz on Yokes by Koro and Malteser. The lead goes on over to Discoboyz to start things off. oomfie, I'm having a lot of trouble with this one. Meanwhile, Koro and Malteser are just gaming it out. Malteser aim, by the way. Koro finds break, but Malteser's a 400 combo. Finally breaks. There's no combo on anyone at all in the entire lobby. Highest combo is like 86, and it's a 2.8 million point lead for Discoboyz. So they're not going to feel too bad about it. Kurumi at a 200 combo best. Nope, that's gone. Goodbye. It's like a baby Nomad 5, you know? Got some bursts, got some more bursts, got a few more bursts, but also a hefty dose of aim. This is like oddly dense, I feel, for being air 9.6, but I guess that's sort of the Snow Note special. And that's gonna do it. Another clean victory for Discoboyz. Another map that was just kind of never in doubt. They all just had good scores. 2.4 mil, 1.9, 1.6, you know, nobody over 2 million points for oomfie, nobody over 1.5 million points, really, besides Nope. I mean, nobody over 1.6, I guess, huh? And Eiger not even able to get a million, which is really kind of a low roll, I think, from him on a map like that to do that poorly. But it is to the benefit of Discoboyz, who take a 6-5 lead. They're 2 points away from the finish line, but it has not felt like there's just any chance of a break point for anyone at any point. So what do you pick now? oomfie aim. This is a tense moment, because if you lose this pick, it's match point Discoboyz on their own pick. So this has to be good. They've got Nomads 3, 4, 7, and 8. Hard Rocks 1, 2, and 5. DT6, Free Mod 4. So there are plenty of options still. This pool being as big as it is means that there's a lot of maps pretty much at all times. I almost think you maybe go Hard Rock 2 here. But they do have some picks that they went with yesterday still available to them, that being Nomads 3 and 4. We've got David, Kurumi, Eiger, Crystal in the lobby. I don't know if that means anything. It is going to be Hard Rock 2, okay. So we're going to see Windworm. This is a map that was banned out by Pepsi Japan against oomfie aim yesterday. It's another quick one. Getting a lot of these shorter maps now. And at 46, Hard Rock Alt, and it's just Hard Rock Alt. It's so difficult. CS 5.46. For those playing along at home. Or excuse me, CS 6.89. I lied. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line. CS 6.89 for those playing along at home, so it's more precision. They go kind of back to, or not, yeah, back-to-back precision. CS 7, Nomad 9, and then CS near 7, Hard Rock 2. GLHF's coming out. Yoxpai Toki, Defon's Malteser, David Kurumi, Iger Crystal. And again, I again just feel like the roster for Oomfie Aim for this looks a lot better than the roster for Discoboyz does. So we'll see if they can make any better inroads towards a breakpoint than they have so far. A lot falls on the shoulders of Yoxpai and Defon's, but this is so hard. The precision requirement on this map is very, very high. Already, early advantage to Oomfie Aim. As you saw, a couple of early breaks from Discoboyz, but Iger David, Defon's Malteser, Yoxpai, okay, it's now Toki against the world. And by the world, I mean Kurumi and Crystal. Crystal breaks. Toki broke as well, though. Kurumi finds his... Nope, he does not. That was a very quick bancho. So it's Kurumi, once again, just refusing to let his team be without combo on some of these picks. There's the break. But we're kind of into that portion of the map where you're just going to see a lot of misses and people just aren't going to hit things. So with it being a 1.2 million point lead for Oomfie Aim, they're going to feel all right about that. Although they can't actually see it, so who knows how they feel. And in we go to the last third of the map with no combo anywhere to speak of, and that is to the benefit of Oomfie Aim, who are in the lead by 1.2 million points. Nobody hitting anything means that that lead is going to stay pretty steady. And they should just bring this on home. It's just a map that Discoboyz never got into at all. Hello? Tournament client, please. This is turning out to be such a strange match because of the way the rosters are ending up on these picks, but it's 6-6. We're gonna come down to the last pick for each team, and there has still not been a single break point. And there hasn't even been anything close to a break point in a really long time. I mean, the last map that felt like it could be a breakpoint, I mean, maybe Fremod 1, I guess you could make that argument. But other than that, it's like, the two Fremods were the only maps that really, I think, felt like there was a breakpoint opportunity. Other than that, it's just been... It's been close. But the team winning has always been in the driver, or has been the one picking. And the team picking has always been, you know, kind of in the driver's seat. So, we now come to the final pick of this match. For Discoboyz, and they do go DT6. So that is going to be 5 DT picks out of their 7 total picks. They have won the preceding 4, and Pepsi Japan won this against Oomfie Aim yesterday. But that required Amelia to put on a show. That map would have been very close if Amelia did not just go. So this one, it's slider aim stuff. I don't know. Let's look at yesterday on this. Crystal, Nope, Kirochi, and Kev. Today it's Crystal, Kurumi, Kirochi, and Kev. Yokes by Toki, Defons, and Akoro for Discoboyz. So one team after this map will have a match point, which is a question of will oomfie have a break point and a match point on their own pick, or will it be defending against a match point with their last pick? We'll find out in just a couple minutes. This is a map that, honestly, people will probably do okay on. Trading breaks, Kirochi, Crystal, Toki, Akoro, Defines, Kurumi, and now it's just Yokespy left. As Kev breaks as well. Will Yokespy be taking on the role of Amelia here? Just solo carrying a team to victory on this map. The tapping is pretty heavy, but he seems to be managing okay. Not anymore, he finds a break. So do Kirochi and Toki. This lead is going to go over to oomfie. This is the riskiest of the DT picks for a reason. For them, oomfie looked so good on this yesterday, but there's a lot of time left. And into the next section of slider jumps we go with Kurumi in the driver's seat for oomfie. Akoro is trying to do what he can to keep him in check. Whichever one of those players misses, it's going to be big for that team. And it's Kurumi that misses, and Akoro holds on, and Yokespy is at a 250 combo. The lead goes instantly on over to Discoboyz. There is very little combo on anyone else. So those two are going to make this lead about 1,000,000 points quickly. Akoro needs to hold, though. His team, you can see, is just having trouble comboing. But Akoro is at a 550 combo. That's very, very key. He is holding off Kurumi, Crystal, and Kirochi by himself, despite the best efforts of his teammates to the contrary. About halfway through, the lead is 2,000,000 points. But there's a lot of combo left, and the more that Discoboyz continue to have trouble on 3 members, the more this could get interesting. Still, Toki, Akoro, Defons all break, and there is combo on Kirochi, on Kurumi. No, they both miss, as does Crystal. It is now Kevin, the only one left with any sort of combo in the lobby. It's a 1.4 million point gap that I don't... Is that enough combo to bring back at 300 by himself? I don't know. It's going to be close. Gotta hit the squares. And this burst, okay. Kevin is keeping this interesting, but he misses right into the next Ki. And now it is just Toki and Crystal. Crystal has a bit of combo, though. If Crystal can hold, he can make this interesting. Toki breaks, but so does Crystal. The opportunities were there for oomfie on this map to get a break point. They really were. But unfortunately, just not able to take advantage of them. It was so close for so long. And it stayed that way, but Discoboyz take the victory on that point, and they take a 7-6 lead. It's the last pick of the match, and it goes to oomfie. 2 miss from Akoro, 5 miss from Kevin, 6 misses from Crystal, 8 and 7 from Kurumi and Kirochi. That is a great miscount for oomfie compared to the 15 of Toki and the 13 of Defons, but Yokespy and Akoro just putting up some solid scores. Will we see a tiebreaker? That's going to be the question. There is one pick left, and it's oomfie. They have no mods 3, 4, 7, 8, Hard Rocks 1 and 5, and free mod 4. 7 maps left to choose from at the last pick of a best of 15. That's kind of scary. They picked both No Mod 3 and No Mod 4 yesterday. Hard Rocks 1 and 5 were completely ignored, as was Free Mod 4. No Mod 7 and 8 likewise completely ignored. And it's gonna be No Mod 8. It's the last pick of this match. I guess you just burger flip it. A minute long. No mod 8. We're just flipping the entire match. Burger flipping it on Burger Fox. I mean, they've done this. This has happened before. They've done this once already, man, right? They did this on Fiery Rage Accordion, last pick before a possible tiebreaker a couple weeks ago. And now they're just doing it again. They're doing the exact same thing again. The burger flip last map of the match strategy worked once for oomfie aim. Can lightning strike twice for them? Or will this be the way in which they are eliminated from this tournament? I don't know if you feel better or worse if you lose a match on this map than you would on, you know, like a 4-minute long consistency type of pick or something. Crucially, we're not going to see Kurumi in for this one. And Kurumi was the one who, if memory serves, FC'd Fiery Rage Accordion to win them the pick previously. Instead, it's going to be Nope, Iger, Kiroshi, and Crystal. Discoboyz with Yokespy, Akoro, Sigi, and Malteser. I suppose you could say this is a little bit less of a burger flip than Fire Rage Accordion, since it, you know, isn't 15 seconds long. But, well, here we go. Players are ready, and we're gonna start. There's two ways this can end. It's a tiebreaker, or it's GG well played Discoboyz. Question is, which will it be? Can oomfie aim extend this out? Or can Discoboyz close with a break point, which would be the only break point of the match? And nobody can hit anything in this, so this is like just ultimate burger flip, because it's literally just who can hit more notes. It's not who can combo more, it's just who can hit more single notes. And right now the answer is going to be oomfie aim, as Crystal has some combo, as does Nope KJK, and I think that's probably just it. Yep, it's over. Discoboyz cannot combo this at all. And Nope has a 175 combo, Nope has a 190 combo, Nope has a 200 combo before finally falling. It's a 600,000 point lead for oomfie aim. We're just going to tiebreaker. I don't know what Nope KJK just did, but that was absurd. Nope KJK wins the burger flip. Maybe a bright future at Burger King in store. And that means we are going to our first tiebreaker on the stream in the grand finals. Unbelievable scenes here at Hippo Cup 5. We have not seen a tiebreaker in 3 weeks. There was not a single tiebreaker in the finals or semifinals weekends. We've not seen a tiebreaker since quarterfinals week, where there were 3 of the 4 losers bracket potential matches went to tiebreaker. We haven't seen one since then, and now is the time. That score is absolutely ridiculous from Nope KJK to take this to TB. So, tiebreaker is, of course, Hera, long version, mapped by Handsome. It is an Akoro rank 1 by a moderate margin. What button is no fail under? That's just under this, I guess it's fine. This map is dumb. It's really hard. I don't know. It's hard to know what to say about a map like this because it's just silly. Also, the fact that there's actually 2 diffs of this is ridiculous. I think, like, once again, the oomfie aim roster for a map like this just looks so good. It's felt that way through an oddly high amount of this match, where it's just felt like oomfie aim has a better, like, all-around roster for picks than does Discoboyz. I mean, the big question mark, of course, being the fact that you have a Akoro on the side of Discoboyz. That's such a huge factor for them on a map like this. We see GLHF's coming out, so I guess we're getting going. I don't know if we actually took the full, like, timer. They were gonna get a little timeout, but just keep going. So, here we are. Hippo Cup 5, Grand Finals, Tiebreaker. First time in the history of the tournament we've had a tiebreaker in the Grand Finals. Seox by Akoro, Defans, Malteser for Discoboyz. It's Nope, KJK, Kurumi, Kirochi, and Crystal for oomfie aim on finger control, stamina, micro aim. It's got a little bit of a lot of things, and it's really hard, and it's a Yolks Pie and a Akoro type of map, but it is also like a Kurumi Nope Crystal type of map, and Kirochi's been playing so well that it's probably a Kirochi map as well. But that being said, Discoboyz have kind of the X factors on their team for this type of map. Also, multis are hidden. Bit of a question mark there. It's just going to be a matter of whether those question marks, whether the X factors, you know, which end up performing the best, and well, that's some resets for Discoboyz early on, and oomfie aim take the lead. You've got Nope, Kurumi, and Kirochi all in combo. Now just Kirochi is the other 3 break, but there's not any combo on the side of Discoboyz, and it's a 1.3 million point lead for oomfie aim. How long can Kirochi hold? That is going to be the question right now. 98 AC with a 500 combo still alive, and there's nothing on Discoboyz that can match that. They need a lot of help to climb back in, because it's going to be about a 2 million point lead. They need Kirochi to break, and Kirochi needs to not break. Oh, the slider break. We'll see if that was Bancho. Hang on just a second. Make sure that that was not a Bancho slider break. Oh, goodness. I think that was a real miss. That is a very sad way to lose the biggest combo on your team. Kurumi, though, still at 300, as is Crystal at 350. Yolks Pie and Defans are matching them. But that means that the lead is going to stay in favor of oomfie aim, as Crystal and Defans are 1v1 right now. And Crystal breaks, Defans holds. Okay. Now we're watching Defans to see if he can bring back this score gap. He's got to hold through some very difficult alt patterns, some very tricky sliders. Is he going to make it through this whole space pattern? No, he is not, but Akoro does. And Akoro now takes over with a bigger combo than anyone by a lot, and he makes it through that space pattern as well. This lead is about to go over to Discoboyz, 1/3 through, and it is Akoro at a 450 combo, leading the way as the lead ticks over to the Discoboyz side of the screen. A lot of time still to go, though. This one is not short, and it is not going to be over until it is well and truly finished, until we see that results screen. But Akoro is doing the Akoro thing right now. He's at a 650 combo, and he is growing that lead out for Discoboyz. Nope, Kurumi and Crystal all building some combo back up. But it is all about Okoro, who is probably the best player in the lobby at this sort of thing, and Yolkspy to 400 combo backing him up is huge as well. Malteser and Defense have almost fallen by the wayside at this point. Defense, thanks to his big early combo, they got back into it, but it is really just now all about Okoro and Yolkspy, who both break. They both break at the same time, but it's a full combo reset for oomfie aim, so they will not be able to take advantage of that or anything close to it. The lead is still not that big. It's only 4 million points, and there's a ton of time still. We're only halfway through. This map never gets any easier. Whether that's to the benefit of Discoboyz or oomfie aim remains to be seen, and you can get a picture there. Just under 4 million points to the good for Discoboyz. Not a lot of combo on really anyone at all. But that 96x 12.5 million score for Okoro is coming in big for Discoboyz right now. Working his way up to rank 1 no fail on this lobby, on this map, on the leaderboard. There's a bit of combo being built up. You can get some combo in this section, but it's a matter of how well you can hold it going forward. No breaks on the buzz sliders this time. Everybody makes it through those quick repeats, and there's a lot of combo everywhere, and this lead is tenuous at best. There go Malteser and Defense. Crystal next, though. Oh, Kurumi and Kurochi both break. That is not good for oomfie aim. No KJK now. The only combo in the lobby, and his is gone as well, as they reach a very hard set of patterns. There's just not going to be any combo left through this portion of the map, and that is very much now to the benefit of Discoboyz, who have a 4 million point lead and not much combo for oomfie aim to try and do anything about it. Okoro makes it through a bit of that space pattern, but pretty much everyone falls off of it. You can't really expect people to hit a lot of this stuff. You just can't. It's not feasible. This is so hard. Again. Oh, every song ever has to use that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 do it sample, huh? I didn't know that was in this song. Anyway, it's Okoro matching Kurumi, but nope, KJK and Kurochi do have some backing combo. The problem is it's still almost a 4 million point lead for Discoboyz, and it's really not coming downward anytime soon, and we're running out of time. There's not a lot of map left for oomfie aim here to try and make a comeback happen. They need a lot of help from Discoboyz, and Kurumi breaking is not going to do it, but no KJK and Kurochi are 300 plus combo each, and that's a break for both, and that's going to do it. You just saw the match and the tournament come to an end on the cursor of Nope and on Kurochi. Unfortunately, both at 300 combo, both breaking, and with Yolkspy and Okoro holding on through there, that lead goes to 5 million points, and that is most likely where it's going to stay through this ending. Our first ever Grand Finals tiebreaker here in Hippo Cup. It's going to be a closely fought battle the entire way through, neither team wanting to give an inch, but at the end of the day, the map that Okoro has rank 1 on the leaderboard for, he's going to put up the top score in the lobby on the tiebreaker, and he's going to win the match. He's going to win the tournament for Discoboyz 3, 8-7 final score. Congratulations to the winners of Hippo Cup 5. It's Discoboyz 3 taking the trophy. It is a hard-fought battle all the way through, but the team of Yolkspy, Chillier, Defense, Okoro Malteser, Miles, Sigi, Toki, and Will Stetson is going to do it. They are going to win over oomfie aim, who fought to the last breath here in this Grand Finals match. They didn't give up a single break point against Discoboyz after falling 8-3 in the winners final. They win every pick of theirs to take it all the way to a tiebreaker. They keep the tiebreaker that close to a not even 4 million point win for Discoboyz. You can't ask for much more out of oomfie aim short of actually outright winning, but they put forth the best competition that Discoboyz saw this entire tournament, and it really wasn't even close in that regard. They were the only ones to push them this hard. They figured something out between yesterday and today. They had some great performances on a lot of maps, but Discoboyz were just not to be denied, forcing it all the way to the tiebreaker, winning all their own picks, and then winning that TB on the back of Okoro with a 17 million point score. And with that, we come to the conclusion of another year of Hippo Cup. It has been quite the journey over this tournament. We've had some great matches. We had some fun upsets. We had some blowout wins. We had everything in between. We have tiebreakers. We have 8-0s. We have 7-0s. You know, when you come into Hippo Cup, I think you know what you're here for. You are going to get some crazy map pools. You're going to have some long matches. You're going to have some wild teams, and we got all of that and more this year. We got our first ever Grand Finals tiebreaker, and I think that just is a cherry on top of another great tournament. So, with that in mind, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone involved, Habib, Mr. Matt Pooler, all the folks involved in making the replays, the showcases happen, all the referees for their time and effort, because group stages are no fun to referee, so you guys get a huge thanks from everyone here. And thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to all the players for playing. It's a long list. I'm not going to go through everyone, but a big round of applause goes to Discoboyz, and a big thank you to everyone. But congratulations to the winners, Discoboyz 3, Hippo Cup 5 champions, oomfie going home in second, and Pepsi Japan rounding out the podium in third. Thank you for watching, thank you for playing, thank you for being a part of the tournament this year. And we will see you all next time at Hippo Cup. So long.